Welcome back to the Coaching in Early Intervention Training and Mentorship Program podcast series. Today we will answer a couple of questions that have been periodically asked to either the state lead agency or the master coach team. The first question we will address is, can First Steps require the training for providers? All providers enrolled in First Steps sign a binding service agreement that specifies the requirements for reimbursement for early intervention services as defined by federal law. Ongoing training requirements have been in the contract since 2008, and the new requirements for quality assurance are the natural progression to ensuring quality service delivery to children that is required by federal law. These issues are frequently reflected in other state programs. For instance, physicians must provide appropriate care in order to bill Medicaid, and Medicaid does not reimburse for physician training to learn or develop new skills to provide that appropriate care. Your signed provider agreement indicated that state systemic improvement plan activities would be required. The service provider agreement was fully vetted by the Cabinet for Health and Family Services Office of Legal Services. Providers are contracted vendors who voluntarily enroll in First Steps. A second question we have been asked is if coaching is a billable service. As we have discussed in other podcasts, coaching is the evidence-based strategy early intervention providers use to interact with parents and other care providers to maximize child progress both when the practitioner is present and when they are not. Mediating parents' knowledge and skills is an added benefit of the use of coaching practices. As Rush and Sheldon outline in Common Misperceptions about Coaching in Early Intervention, the practitioner is not, however, billing the third-party payer for how he or she interacts with the parent or care provider, but rather for the time and expertise necessary to achieve the developmental progress of the child. Billing in Kentucky's early intervention system has not changed since the inception of the primary service provider model back in 2004. We are currently building the skills of KEIS providers so that the services are more effective and consistent with the evidence. An early intervention session should always include planning, observation, action and practice, feedback, and reflection, with additional planning for the next session. These are the necessary elements of the visit and are billable to insurance. The child must be present, and the provider models strategies, gives feedback to the caregiver, and they implement the strategy. These same practices often occur in the clinic setting. Should you have specific billing questions, you are always welcome to contact the state lead agency for guidance. We hope this podcast and answers to these questions are helpful. As always, if you have additional questions, feel free to reach out to us using the Coaches Service account, coaches@louisville.edu. Thank you.